Today we're going to talk about why Qi is the answer. If you don't know who I am, my name is David Wong. I'm the founder of Qi Life Mastery. I'm a health technology founder. I'm also a martial artist, Qigong practitioner, and I'm also a founder of a martial arts school in Vancouver, BC, which I ran for about 2 years. And I'm also a executive producer of a feature film that's coming out really soon. So my story is that I used to be chronically ill. For 10 years, I had a digestive disorder that was incurable. I searched far and wide. I tried all sorts of different modalities, and I took medication, and none of it worked. It actually gave me a lot of side effects, like skin disease that I never had before. And I gave up almost on healing myself until I started experimenting with electromagnetic and frequency therapy. Long story short, I started using a special software that I kind of put together, put some specific frequencies in there for intestinal inflammation. And in 90 days, I was able to heal myself completely from the disease that I had for 10 years. And I wasn't doing anything different in those 90 days other than using this new frequency technology. So from that point, that inspired me to create a product, because a lot of stuff out there that I was using at that time, that technology, just wasn't very user friendly. It was very hard to use and very complicated. And even I had a hard time figuring it out. And I had engineering background too. So I said, I need to create something that's very simple, that everybody can use, that's very affordable, that somebody can just use their phone, turn on a frequency, and be able to receive the energy, or receive the healing support, or receive some kind of meditative frequency just with the tap of a finger. And that's actually what we did. It's called a Qi coil. And we have many other technologies other than Qi coil. But now we have thousands of people around the world using Qi coils almost on a daily basis, transforming their lives, transforming their wellness, and doing incredible things in their lives. And I know that you're watching this, you're probably one of those people. And I think I found my life calling is to keep doing this, is to keep making these technologies better and better, and to keep offering it to people like you that are watching this, and educating people who haven't not heard about frequency technology or Rife machines or pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, and all these different ways of experiencing Qi energy. And because there's all different kinds of Qi energy that we offer in our store, Qi Life store. Okay, so that's me. And our manifesto, this is what we as a community believe in. So if you want to repeat after me, if you can read it, let's read it together. So we are truth seekers. We raise the world's consciousness. We connect our mind, body, and spirit to improve ourselves daily and to align to our purpose. We fight against self-limiting beliefs and conventional rules of thought. We fight against fear, sickness, and disease. We believe in frequency. We are all connected. We are all energy. How true is that? All right, so in this webinar, I want to answer the best I can of how we can actually end global conflict, how we can offer affordable health care for everyone on the planet, and also how to raise spiritual resonance of the planet, how to save our environment, and how to create abundance for all. And it all sounds too good to be true, because if we could do this, we would solve 99% of the world's problems. But this is what I'm saying. I'm believing this so strongly that Qi is the answer. It can literally solve 99% of the world's problems. All right? And I'm going to explain to you why in this webinar. Just keep watching, and it's going to make sense to you. You may doubt, you may have fear, you may have uncertainty, and you may not believe that what I'm about to say is true. But just have an open mind and try to understand that there are forces that most people don't understand, that science has not caught up to. And actually, science is just beginning to discover and beginning to document and to verify that there is this energy, this other kind of energy that science has not conventionally accepted, has not adequately studied, that does exist, that we can actually harness, that is unlimited, and that you can use and harness to create new technologies such as 0 point energy, such as very cheap or even free energy, or use it for sending and receiving healing, or use it to enhance the wellness and the health of entire area, entire physical location, which I'm going to explain. Okay, but before I do that, let me start with some announcements. So if you didn't know, we are increasing prices in May 1st. So you just have about, that would be about 9 or 10 days left from this webinar to order your chi coil or whatever device you've been thinking of, because unfortunately, due to inflation, all the prices, all the costs are a hard cost for materials and shipping and warehousing and employees. They've all gone up. So fortunately, we have to increase prices in order to stay in business. And then, so we have to do it. We have no choice. So I highly encourage you, if you've been thinking about buying, now would be a good time to do it before we increase the prices on May 1st. Okay. Secondly, on my notes here, let me look. Okay. Yeah. Secondly, Chi Energy AI. Which one of you have been using or tried out Chi Energy AI yet? Raise your hand if you did. Okay, so if you're on Chi Energy AI, you would be happy to know that we have made a ton of updates and upgrades since our last webinar. So some of those would be, we have upgraded all of the ultra intensity levels. So if you went to the website, you can see that there's 4 intensity levels for each signature. There's the low, medium, high, and ultra. So some people say, well, I want something really strong, or I want something I can feel like instantly or feel very, very fast. So we create something that is, we basically bumped up the intensity level of ultra, and now they're about 2 to 3 times stronger than what it was. So if you're someone who was using and trying it out, and then you didn't feel it, now go back to your account and go try ultra again, and you're probably going to feel it. Okay. The reason we did that is because I personally can't use ultra because I'm very sensitive. If I turn on ultra, then I could use it for like 5 minutes and then I get overloaded and I get a little bit dizzy. But for some people who are not as sensitive as me, then ultra, they would probably feel better, or they'll work better for them. One other thing is that using ultra may not be the most effective intensity level for you, because some people say, oh, I want to feel this thing and I want it to work the best for me. Why don't I just turn on ultra on everything? And what ends up happening is sometimes the intensity is actually so high that it's too high for your body and it doesn't sync up. And sometimes it might be better to start off at a low or a medium before we move up to high or ultra, because all our bodies, everybody's energy field kind of vibrates or resonates at different intensities by themselves. And I'll explain a little bit of more about this later, but let's move on to the other updates. So what updates if we have, actually, if I go into the event panel, so if you see here, now we have a time zone that you can select. Oh, you can't see on the screen, but when you log in, you're going to see set time zone, and now you can set the time zone differently for each phone number and each address, so that if you have people that you are sending this to in different parts of the world, or you have addresses in different parts of the world, that you can set a time zone so that the schedule here would make sense, right? Because not everybody's going to have the same time zone. So now you set the time zone here for the phone or address, and then now you can schedule it here in the calendar. Also, we created the increments of half an hour instead of hours, so now you can have a more precise duration for your energy broadcast. Now we added some easy, simpler ways to turn off all days and on and off and such. And then we have some more tips here. Some people were saying that the pages and the graphics weren't showing, or some of the pages weren't working properly. The thing is, we've been updating this page so much that if you don't clear your browser cache, it may be loading an older version of the page. So make sure that you clear your browser cache and refresh the page so that you're going to get the latest version, and then there won't be any glitches. All right, we put some here also saying that the longer your broadcast, the stronger it gets. So we recommend at least 60 minutes to get the full strength of the signature, and to use it daily for 21 days to have your body start resonating with it. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of other features that we've added to make everything easier and flow better, in addition to what we added here. So go ahead and go back and try it out if you haven't tried it. If you haven't tried yet, I'll give you the link later. Actually, the link is actually right here. Okay, you see on the bottom screen on the screen, we have some of those links. Chi Energy AI, the second icon there, that's where you want to go. chienergy.ai. So make sure you put a dot there. Okay, so that's, I think, about it for announcements. Oh yeah, so at the end of this webinar, I'm going to introduce a brand new opportunity for you to take part in. It's very exciting. I haven't offered it before, and the circumstances now permit this to happen, and then now we are opening the doors for this opportunity. You're probably wondering what it is. You're gonna know and learn by the end of this webinar. Okay, so let's move on. How to end global conflict. Now we all know that there's a war going on in Europe, and it's pretty sad. There's a lot of political things happening, and I'm not really much into politics, but I know that a lot of people are suffering, and I definitely know that's completely unnecessary. We all agree that's totally unnecessary, because what I believe is that why is there global conflict is number one reason. I'm not saying this is the only reason, but I think the one reason is just resources, right? What are they fighting over? They're fighting over oil. They're fighting over power, right? Those two things, either resources or power, and they're all tied together. Who agrees with that? Okay, world wars are fought because of basically two things: resources and power. So what if the world had unlimited resources? Would there still be wars? What do you think? If the world and every country had unlimited resources, would there still be wars? And some people will say yes. And why is that? Why would there still be wars if everybody had limited resources? That's right, because people have the greed for power and people want control, right? So you're probably asking, David Wong, why do you think that Qi would be the answer to end global conflict? Well, it actually can possibly, theoretically, okay, it can actually solve both problems of people who want power and also solve the problem of resources, okay? Because Qi energy is one kind of technology that, if it's developed further, could be the key to unlimited energy, all right? We're using an aspect of that technology of unlimited energy already in our Qi Energy AI. We are using and tapping into the 0-point universal field, consciousness field already, which has unlimited energy. And that is how we are, one of the ways that we are powering our Qi Energy AI. So we're already doing that. So if there's more research and more development into how to access this 0-point energy, as unlimited energy source, then we would have unlimited resources. We wouldn't have to fight over energy. We wouldn't have to fight over oil, right? So that would eliminate that problem. If we would just divert our resources and study how we can generate unlimited energy using the technology that a lot of scientists have already discovered. But why hasn't it been adopted? Why haven't there been more research done into these technologies? So I'll let you think about that for a second. Food shortages. Did you know that you can actually use our Qi coils to enhance the yield in a crop or yield in your garden? And if we can use chi coils in a large scale, let's say for an entire crop or entire farm or entire field, it would, or a plantation, or even a marijuana facility where they grow it, legally in these facilities, they can actually increase their yields many times fold, because plants also react to electromagnetic fields, just like humans do, just like animals do, just like the whole planet does. It is actually, there's many studies on this, how electromagnetic fields can speed up the growth and speed up the yield, like how much fruit is going to be produced in plants and in harvests. All right, so that already is a almost zero cost way of increasing the amount of food production in the world. Okay, so there's another potential way of solving another one of the big problems on Earth, is just give people access to this kind of technology, to, let's say, third world countries where they're having a hard time growing their crops. Just have a chi coil, just plug it in, play a frequency that helps the plants grow, that help the crops to yield, to grow faster. Also, frequencies that can potentially deter or ward off pests without using any pesticides or chemicals. There's multi-billion-dollar companies that would be very interested in technology like that, because what they do is they spend millions of dollars on pesticides and chemicals to kill off pests, and they genetically modify the plants so that they're more pest resistant, so that they don't lose them, right? But what if there was a way to use just frequency to get rid of or ward off the pests, so that the crops can grow without any pests? That idea alone is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, so that's another potential of increasing food supply, and also getting rid of GMOs. All right, we can have more organic food for a lower price. Think about it. See, that's a very powerful thing. Okay, and also, so that's one way. Okay, we can solve those problems. We can also help solve some water issues, some water contamination, water purification issues. They don't have, a lot of places on Earth don't have clean drinking water. Well, did you know that you can use frequencies to excite and vibrate water in a way that it would eliminate contaminants inside the water just by using energy and frequency, not by adding chemicals, right? Not by even filtration. You don't even need filtration. All right, so there's technology, there's potential there to create a technology that can just use energy and frequency to enhance water. Think about in the Bible how Jesus was able to turn water into wine. How did he do it? It was used frequency. It was through intention, right? It was through his miraculous power, but it's basically through intention and frequency. There's been studies done where they were able to increase the vibration of water so high that when people drank it, it tasted basically like alcohol. Okay, so that could have been how Jesus turned water into wine during that wedding that he was at. He was able to increase the vibration of water in such a way that tasted so different that it tasted like alcohol, and people got drunk on it, people got high on it, because they changed the vibration and the frequency of water. So that can be done. Okay, so think about how many planetary problems can be solved with energy and frequency. There's a lot. I'm only mentioning a few right now. Now, what else? Now that's resources, right? Well, what about power? How do you get people to not want to fight for power and be so hungry and so so power hungry? Well, that's going to hopefully be answered by the next part here. Okay, maybe a couple parts after this. Okay, so next part here is how to offer affordable healthcare for everyone. Now, we all know in Canada that we have healthcare that's already covered by the government, which is great. So that's why a lot of people move to Canada, because of healthcare. But in the States, it's different, right? And many other countries, it's different. You have to pay for your health care. The government doesn't provide the health care. So what ends up happening is that when people are sick, basically people who are poor will have much different or much lower access, less access to better treatments, better medical service than people who are rich. So basically now with inflation, that's going to get worse because the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, or the poor is getting poorer every year. If it's 8.5%, they just announced 8.5% inflation every year. The poorer who don't increase their income that much every year are losing 8.5%. They're losing 8.5%. They're getting negative 8.5% interest in their bank. So they're getting poorer and poorer, and the rich are getting richer and richer. So that means that the rich will be the ones who have access to all the medical care, and then the poor will have a harder and harder time to get the proper medical care. What's the solution to that? Well, I proposed that instead of relying two things. Instead of only treating problems and diseases when they occur, after they occur, why not practice preventive healthcare? Why not practice ways and provide solutions for people who are poor to help them have good health so that they don't get sick in the first place? All right? That's one way of doing it. Second way, why don't we provide a way for people to access basically vibrant health very, very, very low cost and be able to maintain it without having to buy medication, without having to buy a lot of the expensive products that only the rich have access to, right? Okay, so that's what I'm excited about, because that's exactly what we've created. We've created a technology that uses just energy. You just plug it in to a USB. You just plug it into a phone. You just plug it into a wall socket, and it costs cents on a dollar to operate. And you just have to buy this one time. You just buy a chi coil just one time, and you can use it for years and years and years and years. And then you can use it and you can give it to your brother. You can use it, give it to your sister, give it to your mom, give it to dad. Your dog and cat can use it. You can give it to kids, right, to use it. And then the whole family can share it. You don't have to buy medicine for everybody, and everybody can only take one kind of medicine, because this device, and also combined with our app, has 200 meditation frequencies and 10,000 right frequencies that you can use. And it can use for almost everything you can imagine, just from one system, which will last for years and years. Okay? So right off the bat, that's a huge cost savings. And then what if there was an energy technology that uses this idea, and you can actually send it wirelessly to other people? Okay, and that's what Chi Energy AI is. All right, so you see how, I'm so excited about this, because this can potentially solve the healthcare crisis. Because if anyone on the planet we can use this kind of technology, then their costs of staying healthy are dramatically decreased, because you are using this as preventative health. It will increase your vibration, increase your body's resonance, increase your body voltage, increase your body or balance your body's pH level, so that it will make an environment that will be almost impossible for someone to get sick. It will be almost impossible for someone to get sick, because you're in such a high resonance, such a high wellness state. Okay, so that's the key to preventative health, is to bring your body in such a high wellness state that it's impossible for you to get sick. Okay, so that's what we're doing with our technologies. So it is, and you're probably saying, really, is that, does this technology exist? Well, we have it. This is it. It's been around for many decades, but we've made it into something like this, a chi coil that is so much easier to use than what they've been using for in the last 100 years, right? So this technology exists, and I urge you, if you haven't tried it, try it out. All right, so that's why I think and I believe is the answer to affordable healthcare for everyone. You guys make sense? Okay, and Chi Energy AI is another way of doing it. So, and what's so powerful about it is that, let's say that you have parents that live in another country and they're getting older and they're not good with technology. They don't use they don't even have a smartphone or something like that. And you still want to send them Chi energy. Well, you can do that with Chi Energy AI because it just sends energy to an address or sends energy to a phone. You're asking me, how the heck are you going to do that? That's impossible, scientifically impossible. Well, just try it out, and then, just try it out. It's a free trial, and then you'll feel the energy, and then you can say, "Holy cow, is this witchcraft? It's like, what kind of sorcery is this?" Right? We get some reactions like that, but it's based on quantum entanglement. It's based on the universal field. It's based on zero pole energy. We figured out how to do it. They've been like scientists around the world throughout history have been trying to figure this out for centuries, for decades, and now we finally figure it out. How to access ether, how to do what Nikola Tesla was trying to do with the Wardenclyffe Tower. You guys know about the Wardenclyffe Tower? Okay, so one of Nikola Tesla's last inventions or last projects was the Wardenclyffe Tower. It was this giant, basically looks like a giant Eiffel. It looks like a kind of Eiffel Tower. It's like a giant tower, like broadcasting tower. And his idea was to send free energy over long distances using electromagnetic frequencies, using radio waves, and using basically scalar energy. And he never completed the project, but he did get some results from it. But now what we've done is taken that idea and we've basically developed something that has perfected it. We've perfected the art of and the science of sending energy through through very large distances, subtle energy. It's like subspace energy waves. Okay, so you don't have to believe me. Just try it out, and then you're gonna feel it. All right. So that's why I think that we can offer affordable healthcare to everybody, because we're just talking energy. It's something that you can send anywhere, and it's invisible, and it travels faster than the speed of light even. Okay. Third thing, how to raise the spiritual resonance of the planet. Why do I think Chi is the answer for that? Well, we just talked about it. When you use something like a Chi coil, when you use something like an oracle in your home, when you use something like Chi Energy AI or Resonant Wand, and you turn it on, instantly your body vibration and your body frequency is starts to build, starts to grow. And if you measure it on some of these devices, you can see visually that your aura actually gets bigger, your biofield gets stronger, and your skin conductivity becomes higher. So your acupressure points can conduct electricity more efficiently. They can measure these things. So you're literally raising your resonance. And not only does that improve your health, and not only does that reduce your chance of getting sick, another byproduct is that it enhances your spiritual resonance. Is because you start to access different parts of your mind or your brain or of your whole body that allow you to basically experience higher levels of consciousness. Like, for example, open up your third eye, decalcify your pineal gland, right? Open up your pituitary gland, open your crown chakra. You can do those things with frequency. And many people already do this with just sound frequencies, right? They meditate with 528 hertz, or they meditate with 432, or they use solfeggio frequencies, right? A lot of people use these and they're getting pretty good results. But imagine if you can use those frequencies and then amplify them and also bring harmonics into them, and then also and combine it with and turn them into electromagnetic waves. So now you're experiencing the frequencies electromagnetically, not just with the sound. Imagine you can do both at the same time. Now you're able to basically bring your consciousness to higher levels that you've never had before. So just imagine what we can do if masses of people would adopt this. Okay, masses of people would be able to adopt this into their lifestyle. We would be able to eliminate fear. We would be able to eliminate depression, anxiety, uncertainty, and doubt that we have been so ridden with for the last 2 or 3 years, right? Everybody has so much fear and depression and anxiety, and they can't sleep. What if masses of people would be able to adopt this? These are what we call mood regulating frequencies. We can use it to regulate and improve mood. What if you can do this with just turning something on and just tapping a button on your phone, or just clicking a button on your computer? That's all, and exactly what we do. Can you imagine if you can have a frequency that can enhance your brain performance, that can help you to live longer, help you to have longevity, help you to open your chakras, balance your chakras, enhance your chakras, and also open your third eye. So all these things I'm talking about, you're literally able to raise the frequency of everyone and anyone who has exposure to these technologies that we're making, right? So that's exactly how we're going to raise the spiritual resonance of the planet, is by having masses of people being exposed to better, spiritual frequencies rather than harmful frequencies, right? Okay. Corbin says, we need a frequency to remove Biden from office. Okay, that's funny. All right, so that's why I believe we can raise the resonance on the planet. And because of that, now, do you see people who have high spiritual resonance be hungry for power? Do you see people who are highly spiritual and loving be greedy? Or do you see people who are very grounded and very spiritually enlightened? Do you see them trying to dominate people, or hurting people, or starting wars, or things like that? You don't see that, right? So wouldn't it be better, or wouldn't it change our leaders if the whole world's resonance was raised? Wouldn't we have better leaders? Wouldn't we have people who are better politicians, or better at running a country or city or province or state? Wouldn't that put their hearts in the right place, right? Wouldn't they do things more for the people rather than for personal gain? Absolutely, right? So if we can change people's spiritual resonance, then everything comes with it, right? Then everything comes with it. They become a completely different person. All their actions will be different. All their beliefs and all their attitudes will change as well. And many people will say, well, how's that? That sounds pretty impossible. But with love, anything's possible. Love is the strongest, most powerful force in the universe. Okay, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true, right? Wouldn't you agree? The love is the most powerful thing, and the love will be able to change the people who are the most impossible to change. Okay, look at the Bible. A lot of look at transformation stories of how Jesus was able to change people who thought were the worst crooks and criminals of the time, right? They all changed. They all followed him, and they all basically turned their lives into disciples, and then started helping people, and then started healing people and preaching the good news and so on, right? So love is the most powerful thing. So if we can raise the spiritual resonance, we can increase the love, right? The resonance of love on the planet, then there will be more leaders that are actually going to help the planet, right? Help the people. Okay, so that answered my first question, right? How are we going to end global conflict? Go back to there. Do you see how it works? We're raising not just the resources of the planet, but we're also raising the the spiritual resonance of our leaders. Okay. So, and then the final thing is, how do we increase, how to save an environment? Did I go over that? Yeah. How to save our environment. So we already talked about the crops and everything, right? So exactly in the same way, resonance. Agriculture, we can get rid of pesticides, we can get rid of chemicals, which is basically what is destroying an environment, and being able to heal the planet again using our frequencies, because the planet itself emits frequencies, and we're healthy because we're healthy when we are in tune with the planet's natural frequencies. That's why when you go to a wilderness, or you go to the beach, or you go to somewhere where has a lot of chi flow, like somewhere that's very has a lot of life force energy on the planet, you naturally feel good. You naturally get healed, right? That's why some people go to some springs or something like that, or some special places on Earth, some temples or some sacred places, and then when they come back, they feel so much better, or they even get healed from a disease because of it. It's because some places on Earth have higher chi, have better chi levels. So what are we able to basically just emanate that energy to the entire planet? Then the entire planet will heal itself. All right, so that's why I think, and I believe, that chi is the answer to healing the environment as well. And finally, how to create abundance for all. Well, we just talked about resources, right? If we had unlimited resources, then everybody would be abundant. We would have all the food that we need to eat. We would have, all the health that we need to have to enjoy the planet, right? We would have more resources, so people would have more money, all right? People would have more time, and people would have more creativity and better relationships as well. If we all resonated at a higher frequency, if there was more of this love spread out in the planet, then our relationships would get better. We would fight less. We would get along with each other more. We would promote acceptance more. We accept each other more. We won't be so judgmental and discriminatory, right? We will eliminate discrimination, and we will also stimulate creativity and ingenuity, so that we can come up with new solutions and new inventions to solve the world's problems, and we can work together so that we can become better humans, and we can resonate in that frequency of abundance. Because when we all work together and we all start to share and stop fighting each other, that alone will start creating abundance. All right, so and then also it will eliminate the fear, it will eliminate the doubt, uncertainty, and anxiety and depression, and all the psychological and all the mental health issues that we've been suffering from. And that's one of the really strong points of our technology, amongst many, is that you can literally choose your mood with our technology. When people just listen to remove negative energy, just such a powerful frequency, they instantly feel better in a matter of seconds. When they plug it into the chi coil, it's even stronger. So people who have depression, they listen to these frequencies, all of a sudden they feel like a completely different person. Or they might break into tears because they've been holding back so much sadness. Or they may just feel liberated just from using this technology. And it's not, I'm not exaggerating, this is happening on a daily basis just from listening to our frequencies, because they have such a clearing and such an uplifting essence to them. Okay? So we can use this technology to create abundance, not just money abundance, but also just abundance, just feeling abundant, just being abundant. And because there's so many people that are rich and famous, but their lives are shit. Just take a look at, I feel sorry for Johnny Depp, right? Who's falling down right now. I haven't watched it, but I've been hearing about it. I mean, this guy, he's so talented, and he's done so many amazing movies, and he's so cool. His movies I watched him since I was a kid, and they're so inspiring, and he's so entertaining and so funny. And now his life is ruined because he just basically married somebody who had a really negative frequency, and that was a really bad mistake. But you see, he, very successful, very talented, lots of money, but they're not happy. All right, so abundance is not just about money and fame and power. I would trade anything. I mean, I would rather have no money than to have what he has. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? Create abundance for all, and this technology can help you get there. Help you get into that state. It's like just a little shift in your mind that it's like a little flip of the switch that changes you and transform you from some kind of negative, dark frequency that just attracts negative people to you. Does attract negative situations and attracts negative people and just bad luck, right? Sometimes that happens. You just attract bad things to you. Just totally turn that around to someone who just attracts good things. Like just things just naturally happen. They just meet the right people. They meet people that help them. They meet people that lift them up. They meet people that they're going to add to their lives and to bring them to even a higher level. And then to attract resources, attract abundance, and attract positive people, positive efforts, and positive feelings and emotions as well. So it's possible. And that's why did I say that? Well, first, because I personally had that transformation, going from a very dark place and very negative to a very positive and very abundant place, which is where I'm now. And then now every day I'm excited because I'm going to higher and higher levels. All right, so that is the reasons why chi is the answer. Can you say it after me? What's the answer? Chi. What's the answer? Chi. That's right. Awesome. Okay, so now you get an idea why I'm so excited and what really motivates me to do what I do, and what I like this community to do too, and what I like this message to go out is that chi is the answer. Chi is the answer. You don't have to call it chi, just call it frequency, right? People don't know what chi is. You say just frequency is the answer, or just not cheese, chi. Okay. So a lot of people are gonna say, okay, but this sounds so impossible. This is a whole bunch of snake oil. Technologies like this don't exist. If they did exist, then the government would already be using them, right? Who's heard of that? Who's heard of that? It's like, the technology you say must be fake, because if it actually exists, then the government would be using them right now to help everyone, right? Okay? Well, hopefully they do, but guess what? The truth is that this technology has existed for decades, maybe even longer, but governments don't use them. They don't make them. They don't use them for good. They use them for control. They use them for actually nefarious purposes. Did you know that? I think take a look at 5G, right? Is 5G radiation healthy for you? Is 4G radiation healthy for you? I don't think so. Most people will agree that 4G was very bad for you, and now 5G is even multiple times worse than that. And now governments are using it all over the place. They've built like hundreds of thousands of 5G towers in the last few years, during the pandemic while nobody's looking, and now 5G is all over the place and there's nowhere to hide. So yeah, 5G is lethal. So yes, the technology it's already been used, and they don't want you to know that it's working to affect your bodies. They don't want you to know that's working to actually affect your DNA. They don't want you to know that it affects your cells. They don't want you to know that it affects an unborn child. They don't want you to know that because they want to keep using it and charging money for it. Okay, so what am I saying? Is that this technology already exists, and here it is. We have it available for you to use to transform your life with and to raise yourself to a higher resonance. And you can, in turn, even raise the entire planet on a higher resonance. Okay, so remember what I said about explaining resonance. Okay, so resonance works like this. Let's say that you're like this in the middle, resonating at wherever you're at. If you have a frequency that's lower and you're at the same place, what's going to do is going to try to drag you down with the lower resonance, right? So that you're going to end up here, lower than what you started with. Okay? On the other hand, let's say you start in the middle and then you have a higher resonance frequency and you're exposed to it. What's going to happen is that you're going to be brought up to this higher resonance and now you're going to end up here. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so that's what happens. Now, how can you explain how come some frequencies will be too strong for you? Well, let's say that you start out here in the middle and you have a frequency that's way over here at the extreme power, really high. What may happen is that your metabolism of your energy field cannot keep up with the horsepower of this energy. So what might happen is you're going to get really tired and it's going to deplete your energy field. Okay? So you may go up a little bit, but then you might come back a little bit because it's too strong for you. Do you understand? So if it is much higher than your current frequency, then it may not change your needle that much because you're going to move up and you're going to move back down. Okay? So what you need to find is you can find the sweet spot somewhere in between here where you bring yourself up to it, but not be so strong that it actually depletes your energy. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like I don't know, like a sports car, right? Let's say you have an F1 car. They use different kind of fuel than a regular car, right? So if you put like the super car's fuel, a nitro fuel into a regular car, you're gonna wreck the engine because it's not made for that. You understand? And then if you use regular fuel in a super hyper car, it's gonna wreck the hypercar. Does that make sense? So let's say you're just a regular car, you don't want to use rocket fuel because that's going to wreck your engine, or at least it's not going to work that well. It's not, so you need to use fuel that's a little bit higher resonance than the fuel that you normally use so that your engine can handle it. And the key thing is that you use it long enough, eventually your engine will get better. Eventually engine gets upgraded, right? The longer you use it, you bring it a little bit higher every time. You bring your chi energy level higher every time. Your horsepower goes up a little bit higher every time. Your capacity goes up a little every day. So eventually, if you use it long enough, your regular, 100 horsepower engine turns into a supercar engine and turns into a hypercar engine. Does it make sense? But you have to gradually increase the frequency and the amplitude of the energy frequency you're using. Does that make sense? Who's following? Okay, so some of you have been using ultra or turning up your chi coils up to 11 and cranking it all the way up. And then they either saying, oh, I don't feel anything, or they're saying, oh, I'm so tired, oh, I got a headache. Well, it's because you're trying to put rocket fuel into a regular Honda or something like that. It doesn't work. Okay, well, some people, so you have to test it out. You have to test out the low frequency. You got to test out the medium. You got to test out the high, and then test out the ultra. Don't just use ultra, and then make an assessment based on that. Got it? Okay, and let's see. I don't have that much time left, but who wants to learn about a little bit of quantum entanglement? So a little bit more about chi energy AI. I think a lot of people are asking, like, how do you actually do this? I'm going to give a simplified explanation. Okay. So quantum entanglement, here's the simplified version. Okay. Number one, we capture the resonance or the essence of a substance, of an emotion or state of being. We capture it and then we convert it into a digital file or digital format. All right. Don't ask me how to do it. We just do it. Then we amplify it many, many times, that essence, that digitally. Then we entangle it with a target. So we entangle it with a phone or an address. So we have a method, we have an algorithm that can do that. We basically entangle it, which means we make them sync together. We make them one. We make them the same, part of the same thing. Then we send it to the target. So we can send that energy to your phone. We can send that energy to your address. Okay, so that's the simplified way of explaining it. All right, it's very similar to prayer if you take a look at the spiritual side of it, because we all know that prayer and intention works. Even whether you believe it or not, they've done studies where they told some people who don't believe in energy healing, they they don't believe in anything spiritual, they're complete atheists, and they told them, okay, we want you to just pretend and then guess the number or something like that. And then surprisingly, everybody's psychic, basically, right? But surprisingly, everybody's psychic, whether they believe it or not. Statistically speaking, it's impossible for these people to guess the number. So they did this, basically you flip a coin test, or REG, random event generators. They had to guess whether it's heads or tails from a computer program. And then the people who have no training, they don't believe in any kinds of psychic power, they don't have never practiced it before, they're complete atheists, they were able to guess heads or tails better than would statistically be possible. You guys make sense? Make sense? So basically, everybody's psychic. Everybody can guess it. Now, obviously, those who are actual psychics and who are actually trained in that do a lot better than the people who don't believe it. But even people who didn't believe it, their results were statistically significant, okay, in their study. All right. So you're probably wondering, what am I going to announce and reveal? What opportunity am I talking about? That's so exciting. Well, here it is. You guys ready? Can I get a drum roll? Can you clap your hands? Hello? Okay, everybody, clap your hands. Okay, I can hear your virtual applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So now, introducing Chi Life Elite. Chi Life Elite. Elite. I gotta make it very dramatic. So, are you the one? So do you want to learn directly from the master and transcend your limits and unlock your human potential? Who wants to do that? Who wants to transcend their limits and unlock your human potential? Who's watched The Matrix? Are you Neo? Are you the one? So here's Chi Life Elite, guys. And here's a chance for you to learn directly from me. It's a elite private coaching and mentorship program. And when you go to this page, you can click here to book a consultation. And on this page, you can learn a little bit more about me if you haven't. So here's a review. David Wong is a master of energy. He knows how to create it, control it, and project it. He utilizes technology, meditation, and innovation to push you to your fullest potential. Life is all about balance, and he can show you how to find it. This is from David Lee. You guys know David Lee? So here's a picture of him and Simu Liu. Simu Liu, who is he? He's Shang-Chi from Marvel, right? So they're buddies. He's also the photographer for Lady Gaga, Snoop Dogg, and Jamie Presley, and basically a whole bunch of other A-list celebrities. So I got his recommendation because I've been working with him. Isn't that awesome? Okay. So you work closely with David Wong and his team of senior coaches and help you in your life or business. Okay, now did you know that in ancient times, just like in many emperors and empires, the people or the rulers and the emperors, they had advisors, right? And they would, in ancient China, they would seek out qigong masters. People had extraordinary martial arts fighting abilities, or extraordinary healing abilities, or just have psychic abilities, or basically superheroes of the time. They would seek them out, and a lot of them would try to hide themselves from public, because if they had too much exposure, people want to kill them because they were just too dangerous, or people want to steal their methods or something like that. So back at that time, they were highly sought after by all the emperors and kings. And then when they found them and they were lucky enough to employ these fabled masters, they helped the emperors in key strategies for wealth building, intuition and insights into life decisions, helped them to build stronger connections to their spirituality, and they helped them heighten their chi energy flow for their health, for their luck, for their fortune, and the prosperity of the whole country, right? And also they consulted them for the latest technologies at that time, so that they can use that technology to enhance their position, to protect what they have, and to also influence other people and also create prosperity. So back in ancient days, that's what would happen. They would hire these qigong masters. Now you all know Nikola Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci, right? They were also geniuses of their time, and the people who used their inventions or were their patrons, they became very, very wealthy. They profited incredibly from Nikola Tesla and Da Vinci, and they didn't actually make that much money themselves. Actually, they died in poverty, I think. But the people who took their inventions and took their technologies and their ideas, they profited immensely from them, and they gained a lot of advancement from that. So I'm somebody, David Wong, I'm someone who has self-healed from an incurable disease. And have also become an accomplished martial artist. I've also invented breakthrough wellness technologies that we talked about. I've built multiple seven-figure income businesses over the last 20 years. So, I'm usually pretty humble, but I'm pretty confident that I'm one of those rare masters whose life experience and talent is precisely what you may be needing to break through your limits. All right, so I'm pretty confident about that. So remember Morpheus in the movie, he says, I can only show you the door, but you have to walk through it. All right, so I can only show you the door. If you're someone that is looking for coaching and mentoring, I'm here to show you the door, show you which way you need to be going to achieve your full potential, but you have to be one that opens the door. So who am I? Once again, I'm a health technology founder. I'm basically the world authority on Qi energy generating technologies. Okay, I'm the inventor of the Qi Coil system, which is patent pending right now. Okay, I've developed over 1,700 mobile applications with 20 million downloads. I've done that. Not many people can say that. Also developed the world's first automated quantum healing SaaS, which means software as a service. I don't think there's anybody that's done it before in history. I'm the first. I'm also a martial arts school founder. I'm a third generation Bruce Lee student. I'm a Wing Chun school founder. I practice Tai Chi, Qigong. I'm very well versed in that. Also study praying mantis, Xing Yi, and Jeet Kune Do. So I have that as my skill set. I'm also an executive producer of a feature film coming up. One of the actors is Greg Sestero. Who's heard of Greg Sestero? Okay, he's the author of the disaster movie, and he's the lead role in The Room. Remember, if you guys watched it, it's called The Room is called the best worst movie of all time, right? So he's very famous, and he's in my movie. Also, Rick Edwards is in my movie, former athlete and top male model. Okay, so also I'm a peak performance technology advisor. This is Jamal Charlo, WBC middleweight champion of the World Boxing Council. He's got 32 wins, 0 losses, and 22 wins by knockout. So he's been undefeated. And this guy's amazing. So I so what I can do is I can assist with brain cognition enhancement, sports recovery and optimization, winner's mindset, mood regulation, intuition development, mental mastery, and I can do that all without any pills or procedures, all done with energy and frequency. Okay, so for high performance, peak performance individuals like professional athletes or serious athletes or CEOs or corporate executives or entrepreneurs, I have the exact path and system for you to achieve peak performance, whether physically in sports or mentally in your business. Here's some more reviews. This is David Prince. He's a Paralympic Games medalist for Team USA. He says, David's technologies have been an essential part of my regular training and recovery routine that helps me keep in the zone. And here is Justin McGregor, filmmaker and director. He says, no one has combined ancient Eastern philosophy, space age Western technology the way David Wong has. There's something inexplicable about David, like everything he envisions is manifested. And then there's also Alan Torres. He's known as the Genesis Doctor. And he says, David's unique experience is second to none. In a world where we need out-of-the-box thinking, he's it. His direction and use of alternative methodologies changes the game. You want empowerment to succeed, to thrive, he's your guy. Okay, so those are a lot of reviews from him. I'm also a business, branding, and marketing expert. That's right, I have many hats. I've built multiple seven-figure businesses from the ground up without any funding, without any secondary funding. All right, I've been able to do that. I have 15 plus years of business development, brand building, and full stack marketing. I have over 500,000 combined YouTube subscribers. I've spent and managed over $15 million in advertising spend. And also I operated an award-winning film production team for marketing. Okay, so David Wong, that's me, only accepts a handful of elite clients each year. So if you're serious about transcending your limits in the fastest way possible, then book a consultation below. Now, do not apply. I do not want you to apply if you're just a beginner. So this is not something for beginners, or you don't have an established level of success. So if this is you, then in that case, I just encourage you to just keep, watching the videos, coming to these webinars, and then just taking some of the online courses instead. Okay. Also, do not apply if you're looking for motivation or inspiration to get started. Okay, you should be well beyond that point if you're gonna work with me. Okay, I'm not here to be your cheerleader. I'm not here to inspire you and motivate you. If you're not already inspired and motivated, then this is not for you. Okay. Also, don't apply if you are lonely or bored or just looking for someone to talk to, because I'm not a shrink, and I'm here to get you out of your comfort zone and get you to get to work so that you can progress and to get to where you need to go in the fastest time. So please don't waste my time. I'm not here to just, talk and make friends. Okay. Yeah, we may be friends, but that's not the point of this program. I need people who are serious about getting to work. Okay. So which of these apply to you? So do you want to go from a mid-level to a high level in whatever you're doing? So if you're low level, this is probably not for you. But if you're starting at a mid-level to high level, is that you? Then raise your hand. Okay. Do you want to go from 1% to the top 0.1%? Is that you? So you're already doing very well. You're already a leader in your field, but you want to bring yourself up to the leader of leaders. Is that you? You can raise your hand. Do you want to multiply yourself or your results 2 to 10 times? Okay, so 2 to 10 times. Whatever your results you're getting, multiply at least double, if not 10 times what you have. Raise your hand. Okay. Do you want the fastest route to your goals? Right. You want to fast track. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to, waste money either. Waste time and money. Time is money, right? Then raise your hand. And you're seeking out the most innovative technologies to advance yourself. You want the best technology. You want the best in the world right now. Then raise your hand. You want to eliminate unconscious habits, mindsets, thought patterns that may be sabotaging your success and progress. Okay. Now, a lot of times that's why we need coaches, because we don't see ourselves the way other people see us. So a lot of times we may be having unconscious habits or speech patterns or mindsets or attitudes that may be actually sabotaging you, that you're holding you back, that you're not even aware of, okay? Who wants to be able to eliminate those? Raise your hand. Okay, do you want coaching and mentoring from someone who's actually done it? Raise your hand. You know there's so many fake gurus out there, all right, flaunting and flexing their, Lamborghinis or their private jets or their like $100,000 watches, but they're all fake, right? Or most of them are. There's not many, super successful, super ultra rich people that actually flaunt like that are actually teaching people, right? Most of the time they're fake because they want you to give them money so that they can they can make money from you, right? So and most of them have not actually done what they teach. But I, on the other hand, if you follow me for the last few years, you know I've done these things. I have done them. I know exactly the roadblocks and the challenges and what it takes to achieve these things that I'm talking about. Okay? This is not something I'm making up. And you don't see me flaunting, the cash and well, I do have a nice car, but you don't see me like posting that all over the place, right? So, so if you want coaching and mentoring, someone who's actually done it and can actually teach you, because a lot of people who have done it, they don't know how to teach, then raise your hand if someone like you, okay? Next is you are someone who is teaching and willing to do the work. Is that you? Raise your hand. And you want to work directly with the master of chi energy and manifestation. That's me. And you want to deep dive into the world of chi energy. If that's you, raise your hand. Okay, so if that's you, then go ahead and go to this page, chilifeelite.com, and book a consultation with Boris. And he's going to do the initial interview, so to speak, to see if it's a good fit for you to be working with me. And once again, I only have a room for a handful of people to work with, okay? Because this is going to be one-on-one. It's going to take a lot of my time. As you know, I'm running several businesses. You know that I'm like every day I'm improving the technologies. I'm working on the back end, on the AI, and I'm actually writing a book as well. That's been coming out in a couple months. So there's a lot of things that I'm involved in. So I'm very busy. I actually don't have the time to do this. Okay, I don't have the time to do any mentoring and coaching. But for a limited time, because I want to kind of test this out, I want to work with some very, very elite individuals to help you to get to the next level. Okay, I'm willing to open up my schedule to accept maybe just a handful of students this whole year. Okay, not just a handful of students this month, this whole year. For the rest of the year, I'm only going to have a handful of people. How many is a handful? Maybe around 5 or so. Okay, so I don't expect everybody to qualify for this. I'm actually pretty expensive, but not so expensive compared to other mentors, but it may be expensive to some people. So I don't expect everybody to be able to afford this right now. But if it is affordable for you, if it is a good, suitable investment for you, then by all means, apply, and then we can see if we are a good fit for working with each other. Fair enough? Okay, so the website again is chilifeelite.com, www.chilifeelite.com, and then you can go there now or when this replay comes out or whenever you want to apply. And once we have the handful of people join this one-on-one coaching and mentoring, then we're just going to shut down this page. It won't be available again. So I don't know how many people, but I'm expecting probably a lot of people will apply for this and haven't done this before. So this is a really good opportunity. Like if I'm where you're at, or where anybody's at, let's say like if I was me, let's say 5 years ago, and I met me now, I would pay myself a lot of money to learn what I know now. Okay, I would pay myself a lot of money to learn what I know now, so that I can bypass all those mistakes and or bypass all the roadblocks, and to get to where I am now faster. And you may be thinking, well, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty successful already. I'm pretty smart. Yeah, you are smart. You know, if you're top 1%, if you're top even 10%, you're a really smart person already. You're probably very successful at what you do already. But wouldn't you want to get to, you know, just a little bit 10% better or 20% better? Is that worth it? Yeah. If you're an Olympic athlete, if you're a professional athlete, that 1% better means that between a gold or a silver medal, that 1% better means you win the match or you lose the match, right? So, so you have to decide if that 1% is something that you want, and if that 1% extra is something that you, and then you want the best training and the best technology to get you there. Okay, so if you want to learn more, once again, go to the page Chi Life Elite, and you can talk to Boris. He's going to do the initial interview, and we can go from there. Okay. Okay, so now we have just a little bit of time for questions. Let's go back to the thread here. Okay. Questions. Okay. He says, no questions, just glad to be here. Okay. Okay, so if you have the Chi Coil app and you can't buy the frequencies from the app, right now we're getting our apps upgraded. So there, for some people, they can't buy the frequencies in the app. Just buy them from chilifestore.com, and then our customer service will unlock it for you on the app. Okay, so if you can't buy it from the app, buy it from the store. We have all the frequencies on the store. Just search for them, and then after that, the customer service will unlock it for you in the app. You just log back into the app, and it's going to be there for you unlocked. Okay. Let me open up my Q&A. Marvin, do you have any questions on the thread? Maybe I did a really good job explaining everything today, so nobody has questions. Okay, here's a question. How are regular, not rich farmers, people can they afford Chi Coils? Yeah, so if you're a farmer and you're not rich, well, Chi Coil starts at $300 right now. Price is going up, but I think every farmer, whether rich or poor, should be able to afford a $300 Chi Coil. Or you can even use the Chi Energy AI and use the Plus plan for $47 a month, and then use your farm as the address and send the energy that way. So it's only $47 a month. So I think every farmer can afford that. How does one know which of your product they should start with? There's so many. Please talk about that. So yeah, if you feel that there's too many products and you can't decide, we have a free consultation. And how you get that is if you go to chilifestore.com, and then you go to the top left here. You see this on the top left? It says book consultation. Just click that, and then you just book a time to talk to our lead wellness specialist, Boris Kirchner, and you just book a time here on the calendar, and then you can talk to him, and then he's going to give you a consultation about which technology is the right for you from our store. Okay. Can it boost the pineal gland? Absolutely. Definitely. Our pineal gland frequencies can do that. Also, our meditation frequencies can do that. If you have insurance, can I send them my receipt, get reimbursed? I don't think so. we're not a medical product. We're not a medical device, so I don't think you can do that. But you can ask them. I'm not sure. Some people might be able to do that, but from what I know, I don't think you can do that. How different is Chi Life Elite from Inner Circle? Chi Life Elite is working with me one-on-one. And Inner Circle is the group. And in Circle, you get access to 57 exclusive frequencies. You get special member perks. You get special Inner Circle meetings. And Chi Life Elite is one-on-one coaching and mentoring with me. Okay, question from Woozy. Hello, and thank you for sharing with us. I would love to know your understanding here. Is there potential of Qi that becomes so in line with the mind and body that it feels denser and more kinetic? Yeah, definitely. Yep. So if you're feeling denser, more kinetic, those are two different kinds of feelings, but both are if you practice Qigong, yeah, you would definitely feel that, and you would definitely feel that with the coils, depending on how sensitive you are. But that is so I'm assuming that you do feel denser energy or some kind of more kinetic energy when you're practicing Qigong or something. Well, yes, that is Qi. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Which product or products would best help a 14-year-old boy who needs help regulating his nervous system? Just use Qi coil. That would be helpful. And use some of the calming frequencies. Qi Energy AI is also good. They have a calming frequency for Qi Energy AI that people actually like quite a lot. Like there's a guy who said they have a whole family who was having problems sleeping, and they use the calm frequency, and now they all sleep like on a cloud every night. So, which product? So, usually the answer to my question is Qi Coil or Qi Energy AI. Okay, so because they do so many different things. Okay, how would frequencies of, say, mobile phones affect us? Frequencies from mobile phones, so 5G, 4G radiation. You can do some research yourself into 5G radiation or harmful effects of 5G radiation, but the short answer is those frequencies are not in balance with your natural healthy frequencies of your body, so they actually interrupt your healthy state of your body. Okay, so that's why they are not healthy. But how to bring everywhere Qi energy frequency, how to work with them in society to the public. How to bring it? Well, let's focus on helping you first. Let's focus on helping your family first. That's what I want to focus on first, and then we'll start there. Okay. So we're gonna help the planet one person and one family at a time. Which Qi coil system would you use for repelling bugs for vegetable herbs, making the plants in our garden grow? Depends how big your garden is. So we have, this is the Qi coil max, so this is the largest Qi coil max, but if you want something bigger, we actually have the aura coil, which is another system. They go up to 24 inches and they can cover like 3,000 square feet or up to 5,000 square feet sometimes. So the bigger your garden, then the bigger coil you would need. We know that it does. I'm pretty confident that this will help with the plant growth, but with the repelling of the pests, we haven't done that much research on it. But we do hear stories now and then that happens with the repelling of the pests, but we haven't done that much research on it yet. I'm just saying today I'm just talking about the potentials of some of the technologies as well as what we've already been doing. Okay, if you live with other tenants, do you have to tell them you are using Chi Energy I would like how other live other tenants? You mean in the same address? Yeah, you should tell them. Like I wouldn't send energy to an address unless the people in that address know that there's energy sent there. So you should definitely consult them and let them know what's happening because they may get like let's say it's too strong for them, they're very sensitive, and then let's say you're playing a very intense frequency, that may get them dizzy and they may not know why they're dizzy, and then they may end up having to try to get trying to fix the dizziness without knowing why it's happening, right? So you need to let them know that you're sending chi energy there and also monitor them if they live in the same place. I say, okay, how are you feeling? Are you feeling dizzy today? Are you feeling nauseous or whatever, right? But if you're concerned about that, just use the phone. Just send it through your phone because the phone has a smaller field, about let's say 6 feet around it instead of the whole address. So only send to the whole address if everybody's aware and you're monitoring everybody in that address. Want to start a small, like myself, get a wearable necklace or wristband. Want the gold one? Oh yeah. So we just got these in. These are really cool actually. So we have these new EMF protection dog tags or necklaces. They're really nice. They turned out a lot better than I thought. So what we actually do is encode EMF protection. So you're concerned about 5G or Wi-Fi, you can wear this and you can actually have EMF protection. They look really nice. They're high quality. They have some weight to it too. Comes with a chain as well. So you can see there's the black one as well. The black one, silver, and gold one. So they're really nice. These are available on the store. Just look out for EMF pendant. And we also got these new EMF bracelets. These are ID tags. So these are also encoded for EMF protection. They look pretty nice for men or women. And this is rose gold. This is pretty nice, right? And they also have silver. Pretty nice. And they also have gold. Okay, so that's also available on the store. These are encoded for EMF protection. What I mean by encoded is we use the energy signature of EMF protection and we encoded it into the jewelry. So you're gonna have the energy field coming out from the. You can't measure it because we're using subtle energy, but you can probably feel it. Okay. Well, so many questions now. Do they help remove bad frequency and make to good frequency? Yes, they do. Let's see what happened. What material are they? Are you okay? These are made of stainless steel, usually gold plated or rhodium plated stainless steel, very durable and very high quality, as you can see. And the coils are made of crystalline orgone and also copper wiring. It's gold colored copper wiring, and there's also crystals inside. We call them quantum crystals. They're citrine quartz crystals. Yeah, so I've got to go. And thanks for coming. And thanks, Matt, for coming also. And Matt's going to be doing a webinar pretty soon too, Matt Rife, in the next few weeks, I think. EJ says, I have the coils and I have Chi Energy AI. I would recommend it to anyone. You can feel the energy in the air and in your life and your actions. All right, thank you. Thanks for that feedback. Thanks, Tessis. Okay, if you guys aren't on my Discord, we have a Discord. Can somebody post that link on the chat? Which frequencies do you recommend for toddlers suffering tantrums? Any calming frequency would work. Calm or dream frequency. Now, if you're interested in any of the things I talked about today, and you're on this webinar right now or on the chat, just put your name, email, and phone number in the chat, and then Boris or someone else will get back to you, and we can have a free consultation for you. Okay, so put your name, your email, and your phone number, and someone will reach out to you in the next day or two, maybe even tonight if anyone's available. Okay, so we just posted the Discord link. Let me go there. Okay, so this is our hold on, let's see. Okay, so this is our Discord. This is our Discord. So it's basically a forum, and I'm on here like at least once a day or so, and we have 122 people now. So here you can discuss. We make announcements here. We discuss general things. We discuss our products. We discuss Synergy and AI, health, wealth, meditation, martial arts, affiliate program, inner circle as well. And you can meet and talk with the community in here. We have, starting to have more activity in here too. So go ahead and join Discord. It's free, and you can start chatting with the other people in our community when we're not doing webinars. Okay, so the link is, we're going to provide the link in the description after the video is posted, and it's also on this chat right now. Okay, so thanks for posting your numbers, Robert and RJ and George and Darnell. Darnell, if you can, okay, you have an issue you need help with? All right, so yeah, go to chilifeelite.com to make an application. Like I said, we're only taking a handful of people, and it's not going to be for everyone. But if you are the one, if this is something that's going to be a good fit between you and I, then great. I'd love to work with you. And thanks for coming to this webinar, and we'll see you soon. Use the Chi and prosper.